Well, according to this,
I just saw our drunken friend Carl bought out. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, September 24th at 3:04. Please accept our apologies for the site delay. We got rid of the little. Oh, he wasn't a screaming child today, but the child nonetheless has left the premises. So I'll take that for a get go. And thank you for joining Rex Sisters. If you haven't done so already, please continue to like, follow if you're on Rumble, like if you're on YouTube, comment, share, subscribe, join in the chat, join our Discord if you have not done so already. There are numerous discussions that are going on up in that area
uh huh,
that
some
cannot
really
be
fun ones too.
exactly that cannot be discussed on YouTube. So we like to have that out and about. If you feel you need the Discord link, the drunken Carlbot throws it out periodically.
No, Carlbot's only on Discord.
Oh, on Dis.
There's Rumblebot and Botrix for YouTube. Rumblebot is obviously Rumble. Botrix is
Okay.
for YouTube.
Oh, I learned something new today. I thought they were all Carlbot. They look the same.
They do the same thing,
Uh,
but different programs.
do they have the same icon?
No, Carlbot is only post in Discord.
Okay.
Botrix and Rumblebot post in our chats for the live with the
Hmm.
links.
I'll have to pay attention to that. Something that I probably assumed, possibly. Uh, but if you need the direct link and if you missed it and you want to join, let us know in the chat and we'll drop a direct link in for you. Uh, and we also, for right now, have our Cash App up and available. If any of you are ever so inclined to even donate $1 to our cause, we're at $600 plus change probably. And I
In
would,
debt.
yeah, in debt. And I would hate to have to see us start a GoFundMe page or a gift me or whatever the heck. We consider doing OnlyFans, but then we nixed that because who the fuck would want to look at us? So,
Yeah, kind of where I
yeah,
stand.
yeah. So we nixed that. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Enough said about that. Cash App is there. Uh, and we'll have some other things available later on. But with that being said, I was on the phone with Crazy Bee getting ready to, because I didn't get a chance to talk to her this morning, as I was otherwise occupied, as usual, every day since the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get a chance to talk to her till after 2, and I took the baby outside. And it's pouring down rain, and we're chit chatting, and I'm talking back and forth with the baby, and the dog was always right up on the baby at point. And I think that probably is the only thing that saved me, was because when I looked, I went, "Oh my God!" And Angie's like, "What? What's wrong?" And I'm like, I couldn't even talk. There was a rabbit right underneath the car wheel, and if the dog would have, he would have been gone, and then I don't know how I would have gotten a hold of the dog again. Because remember, his name is Chase. We just had this discussion the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I think. And
Oh, did we lose D? Yes, we
oh,
did.
fudged. I got it. I'll call you back.
All right. Well, I'll be taking over for the time being. So, ooh, give me a minute. I'm stretching. Oh my god. I gotta wake up. I'm exhausted. I am so tired right now. It ain't even funny. So, how is everybody when they get in the chat if they hear that part? I'm going to patiently wait for D. Hmm. All right. I guess D's phone call is going to take a little longer. Well, we shall wait. In the meantime, it's been raining down here in beautiful Kentucky. At least in my area, there is rain. Um, you know, typical weather for the fall. Basically, what we have in the spring, we have in the fall. So, tornado season. Yay! We'll see how many we get this year. That'll be entertaining. Could do some live coverage of the tornadoes when they come through. But, yeah, other than that, not much going on in my life. Hope everyone's doing good. Okay, D's going to be a bit longer, evidently. We'll be patient. We shall always be patient, folks. I prefer to be patient, at least. And
My,
we got D back.
my apologies. That was the phone call we were waiting for.
Good. Glad
So,
to hear it.
as we discussed, good news. So, just got to
Mm-hmm.
decide what's going to happen. That's all.
Oh, yeah. That's
All
kind of what I
right.
figured it would be.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Botrix, and Botrix is on which one? That's
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's
I
our
got
YouTube chat bot.
okay, but that doesn't tell us. So if that pops up, Botrix, it would have the Discord for YouTube. I mean,
Yes.
it would have Discord.
Yes.
Okay,
And that
for
starts
YouTube.
posting when people start chatting. So when
Gotcha.
people start running their mouths and having fun, getting things rolling, and everybody laughing, taking the first hour of the podcast because it is so fun.
Uh huh.
Uh, we
Wonder what you're talking. What episode that would have been?
I mean, you know,
Uh huh.
it
I
is great
know.
though. I love chat, chatting
Yes.
with the chat because they are very brilliant, fun, entertaining folks. And you just, interact with your chat once in a while, people. Too many
Right.
don't do it enough.
Yeah, you don't need to be in there 24/7, or, just make a comment here or there, or any ideas or anything that you have. We're down to taking a look at. So have that.
Yeah, I've been up with too many content creators who don't read over the chat. They just kind of, put it up there or something. And I get it if they're running the show solo, but try to make some time to read some of the chat. It
Right.
always goes well, and people feel appreciated that way.
Yes, they do. I know I
So,
certainly do, that somebody, comments on a comment that I'm making.
hmm
All right. So what I miss?
Me talking about the rain and how we should do tornado watch podcasts too,
Oh,
because I got two tornado seasons every year.
oh, that's true. When does the first one start?
It could be today, could be tomorrow. We
So,
got rainy weather, so
so the season has begun.
yes.
It,
When the
did,
fall rains begin, it's tornado season, part two.
how close have they ever come to your home?
We've had some land in our county, but we're talking like 5, 6 miles from where I lived.
Hmm. Could you tell anything? Like, did you know there? Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
okay,
Oh, yeah. Hail,
so
rain, heavy winds, damage to
okay.
the buildings, loss of power. There
No,
was
no,
one time,
no. I mean near your house, even near your home.
yeah, if it's even 5 miles out, there's a tornado landing somewhere.
Yeah,
Take cover
but I
because you
mean,
don't know which direction it's going to go.
okay. All right, let me try this again. When the tornado landed near your home, did your surrounding area, your home specifically, and the homes around you, sustain any damage ever?
From high winds.
Okay.
But the tornado didn't actually hit our area. It was 5 miles away. But the high winds did take off siding, roofing,
Uh huh.
busted out windows, trees get knocked down. Yeah,
Yeah.
we get that kind of damage, hail
Yeah.
damage. Like I said, we get all that stuff that damages.
Right.
I just didn't give an exact what damage was done. I mean, farms get torn up, the fields get torn up, cows
We
get
had.
taken, chickens get taken. It happens.
We're usually pretty lucky that we get severe thunderstorms, and I like them. But 2 years ago, it knocked two 180-foot white pines down, uh,
Hmm.
and wiped out a corner of Jacob's bedroom. And from that point on, EJ has had a conniption. He actually was fishing up in Salmon River up in New York State, I believe it is, if I recall correctly. And those idiots went out in the rain to
Oh,
fish.
not smart.
I know. And a thunderstorm hit a tree, and the tree came crashing down upon the guys that were in that area. And EJ actually dove for cover as the tree came down upon them and kind of pinned them because the water runs relatively low up there at this time of year. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like they were deep in. And they were like in the middle of the river, which was relatively shallow, and it kind of freaked him out. So when this episode with the tree happened, he was like, "That's it. I want all the trees on the property cut down." And I'm like, "Dude, you gotta, maybe go take a pill or go talk to somebody about it, because I am not cutting down all the trees in the property.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go
live
get
on the
some
yeah."
go get some psych help for it.
Uh
You'll
huh.
be fine.
He suffers from PTSD from it, he said, which I can believe. You know what I mean? It's they did that, and then they one time it was EJ and Leslie and their friends were on a boat down on the river,
Mhm.
and the river, the current was really running. Rain, a storm came in, rain hit, and this was just their fishing boat that they had at the time. And I don't know how many were on it, but the boat capsized and they all went under, and uh, that was a little bit of a thank goodness they were alive kind of moment, because they could have went over the
Mhm.
dam easily where they were boating, and many people don't survive going over the dam. So
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff always just made me go, there's a whole lot of river that, there's the Monongahela, the Allegheny, they meet the Ohio. So there's three rivers to choose, and you got to go down by the Ohio Dam. Okay.
Of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Tell me why.
Because it makes sense, didn't you know?
Okay.
Oh,
But, young and whatever.
of course.
So they don't do that shit anymore. But now
Fingers crossed.
the other thing is, I will never, ever, 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 not that I can, but ever canoe with Eric again, go on a rafting trip with him again when the water isn't running appropriately and you have two kids and you got to try to pick up the raft in muck and guck and carry it for the majority of the way. Nope.
Uh huh.
And then, yeah, there's always issues with the one you love when you, and sail. I will not sail either. I've been in three storms on Pymatuming where we've lost a sailboat, and that was with the American Red Cross Club, and never, and only once with Eric and twice with two other guys, and had to get rescued by the Coast Guard. And after we got rescued by the Coast Guard, they sent us out in canoes to go rescue Boy Scouts that were trapped. Little Cub Scouts, actually, that were trapped. You could go in the lake off to these tributaries that ran into these little, like, really beautiful lily pads, and there were frogs and snakes and all kind of stuff. And we had a canoe back to camp. Yeah, that's when you learn to drink Kool-Aid and sulfur water because that's all you had to drink back in the day. That's probably why we're sick today from drinking all that shit.
It is very possible.
Uh huh. That and the outhouses and the, oh yeah, nasty, nasty stuff, nasty camping back in the day, roughing it
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on the ground and then sleeping bags, and there wasn't those cots and blow up air mattresses. You just
Oh,
throw.
that's called cheaters camping.
Uh huh.
That's not camping. That's cheating.
Mm-hmm. What do you consider to be real camping?
The tent with the sleeping bag and the rucksack and the I'm still half cold at night and an actual fire.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I normally do for camping.
Uh huh.
Other than that, you're just visiting a campground and you're taking the spoiled way out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I camp that way anymore? Nope. Am I going
No.
to start doing the spoiled camping if I ever have the money? You betcha. But if
I,
you're young and healthy, suck it up.
yeah, take it from two that know. They're probably like, oh, that's probably why the two of you were sick from sleeping on that cold ground.
Mm, so many years of our lives? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My
Does it
grand.
make a difference? No. I still had fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. We'd go for a week here and there, and uh, I went with school, and then I went with up with Eric's parents, and then when I was a lifeguard, I went up. I was thinking about that the other day. 17 lifeguard instructor, CPR instructor, teaching the Coast Guard guys how to do CPR. That
Mm-hmm.
was back in the day. You had to be able to go to the building that the firemen set on fire to practice putting out fires.
Yeah.
It was like 6 stories high, and we'd have to take the dummy up. And that was back in the day when Annie actually spit out a tape out of the side of her body, and you had to have those 15 compressions done appropriately to every
I
two
remember
breaths.
that, Annie.
Yep, 15 compressions appropriately to every two breaths appropriately for at least 4 cycles. without making a move while people
Mm-hmm.
she had to be carried down the steps and out to the ambulance.
That's a
We
lot of work.
we did stuff like they made us take Q-tips and go around, like when we were in the swimming pool area, we had to go and think of like the strangest place to find bacteria because they wanted
Mm-hmm.
the facilities to be clean from mold and whatever was growing. And so they would send them off to the lab. I don't never know. I never knew really, to tell you the truth, what happened to that. I used to be a test subject where they would hit my artery and not let me go unconscious and let me come back. Uh huh. Yeah.
Brain damage, but they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know that was a possibility.
New. That's probably part of my
That's
problem.
a high risk of brain damage.
And death, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh huh. We
Yeah.
used to jump from the second story balcony into the swimming pool that
Oh,
had
I've
a,
done that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that had a diving board right in the middle of it. So, like miss an inch or two and probably like death might occur, you think?
It's possible. I
Uh huh.
mean,
And then I was telling you, for to pass our water safety test, we had to be blindfolded and go and do search and rescue underwater in 12 feet of water. That was one of the scariest things I ever did. But you had to be prepared if you were going to be a lifeguard at the ocean or if you were going to be a lifeguard at the one of the state parks. And many times up at a state park, that a local state park that we always went to, some kid was always lost, and they'd form the human chain that went out to the rope, and people would walk, trying to see if they'd tip
yeah.
the body or whatever, and then you'd get the call, the kid was found up at the candy store, or some stupid thing like that, and everybody would get out and be thankful the kid was found, but it was always something.
Yeah. And we have vanilla, cannabis, and JJ all popping in about the same time.
Oh, where you guys been?
Uh,
You dragging ass today, guys, huh? Oh, I don't know what part sounds kinky, but we'll just pass on that, vanilla. And cannabis is one, two, three. Yeah, four, five, six.
because I did a test,
Oh, you did a test.
and JJ's been helping out on. Oh, there's JJ 456 testing. Oh, they're doing missing children and the deep state. Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
very intriguing.
Yes. So, oh, and I see there's our Rumble bot regarding the Discord,
Mm-hmm.
Cole. So that's the one
No,
that
our bot, our Rumble, yeah, Rumble bot posting the
for
Discord link. That's
right.
right. Sorry,
Okay.
my brain.
Oh,
I thought you said it wrong. For some reason in my
oh,
head, it went wrong.
gotcha, vanilla on the choking thing. Yeah, it kind of was kind of kinky, probably for the people that did it to me. Yeah, uh huh. Now that I think about it, now I'm feeling a certain kind of
All
way.
I gotta say is the things that we know now,
Uh
if you
huh.
had known back then, would you have actually done it?
No, you know, for what it for what it takes for somebody to pass to be a lifeguard now, or to do CPR. I mean, we had to do the precordial thump. I mean, that was, we did that. All of it. The gam. I would still do CPR the way I was trained way back in the time machine, going way back. That's the way I would still do CPR. I would not.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't go to this new current bullshit. I'd go back to what I know.
Okay.
I'd break your frickin' ribs. Oh yeah. We it was a very interesting time. And then, I told you the time I had to play scab paramedic because I was a mid-level city manager, and that put I was the first female up in the zoo's parking lot where they set up a obstacle course for people to drive the paramedic, the ambulance. I was the only, and all the TV crews were up on the hill filming, and it was shown on the 6 o'clock news. I was the only person to run the course correctly. I did not run over any cones, any people, anybody, any bodies, anything. And somebody called me and said, Dee, you really did a good job, but we couldn't show you because we wanted to show just how bad it was. And back then, paramedics made less money than a lifeguard did. That's how bad the city paid. Can you believe that?
I'm not surprised that the city would be a cheapskate like that motherfucking shit.
Uh huh. And everything that a paramedic had to know. I mean, we, you couldn't pay me enough to do that job. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, we were in the inner city, and I mean, it was bad. And the houses that we went to, some of them literally crawled. The walls crawled. And I had just had EJ, and we had to be on 3 days on, 2 days off, 3 days back on, 24 hours a day. And it was just, oh, I'm telling you, it was terrible. And no sooner you'd get back to the precinct you were assigned to that you get called back out. So I got to drive. I did everything. I drove it all the ambulance all around the city with the sirens and all that going. That was pretty cool. But that putting somebody on a stretcher, carrying them down a flight of steps to get down. Oh, that was rough. They don't pay them enough. They really don't. But then they turned around, and the cheapskates that they are was then they started to send firemen to be quote unquote first responders. Then things got so bad that with the city that the suburbs started to do the same thing. And now, and I think we talked about this before the paramedics will even come into your home, the police will come to see if it's a legit call or if it's something else that's going on in the house.
Sorry, I had to deal with something. I'm back.
That's okay.
But, oh, God. Uh,
At least
sometimes I say I miss the good old days, but then there's times it's like, you know what? I'm glad
not
I
so
don't.
sure. Yeah, I'm not so sure about it. It
I
was,
know.
yeah, it was fun. I think parts of it were, and you look back at stuff fondly, like the lifeguard parties we had were pretty cool.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
So I'll tell the tale of the lifeguard party. So I think I might have told you this story, but there was probably the pool deck and then 6 inches till you hit the water. Well, if we were going to have a lifeguard party and we would cook out on the pool deck steaks, potatoes, hamburgers, whatever, plus there'd be alcohol and other unmentionables that I will not say, but the police would always come as long as we gave them food and we were well behaved. We didn't get into trouble for staying afterwards, but we would open up the fire hydrant as soon as we got there in the morning, because we did learn to swim lessons. And by the time the evening rolled around, when the pool closed at either 8 or 9 p.m., the water had completely started to overlap onto the pool deck. So we brought kayaks into the swimming pool. Yeah, and all other kinds of toys. I was always well behaved because I had to work with the guys. Plus, I went to school with a bunch of the guys, and I was not going to be in any compromising position. So, although I did get myself into a little hot water when I drank a fifth of vodka in 15 minutes and then had beer, which I hate. I had 2 beers, and then I decided it would be a good thing to go in the water. And luckily, Eric and the head lifeguards saved me, or I would be dead to this day, because they found me in the deep end. And after that, well, we just curbed our drinking days. Although we did have a time here or there, but the lifeguard had to be guarded for once. Okay, so what's the chat saying? Mm-hmm. I don't I'm I don't know being able to have a family and home on the wage of a butcher. I know a butcher, he makes a good living. Well, he actually does a little store as well, so that went over pretty good. And you'd gladly lose the internet for that. I think I must have missed out on some things. Cannabis. Be careful what you say and post online if in California. SB 771. I'll have to look up that one up. Cannabis. I'm not aware of what's going on there. Although I don't know the bills by their state number. So, all right. So today we're going to be trying to catch up on, as I mentioned, I didn't think it was a good idea to, at least not yet, to talk about the funeral itself, any of the speeches that were made, in addition to the continual negative and positives surrounding his death. And so we're probably going to start back up on that next week and see how that goes. We have a lot that has been sitting to talk about, and one of them that there's a lot of info out there is on immigration, illegal alien immigration that has been going on, and what has been going on with the ICE arrests. There has been over 1 million deportations so far. People continue to self-deport, and the administration is recommending that if you self-deport, that your chances of then being able to come into the country are greater. Give me 1 second, and now I don't know. So chat amongst yourselves for 1 second. Keep yourselves occupied.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I'm fighting family on some stupid shit. Oh my god. Why does this got to happen in the middle of a podcast? Go ahead. Oh
Um,
my.
are you
Why?
okay?
Yeah, it's ridiculous stuff. I'll to explain afterwards. And it's
All right.
like over the top stupidity.
Okay.
Not our fault per se, but yes. And I'm having to talk common sense to family. And by the way, pork that's been out for 4 days in the fridge opened is probably not edible.
It is not. It is
That's what I'm
definitely not.
saying. And I'm getting, oh, it smells fine. I don't care. It's pork. I
That's
don't
right.
know if I'm going to be eating that.
Nope.
Oh my God. So you
So,
deal with what you got to deal with. Oh my God, what a day.
so hold on one second. JJ says SB. This is for those of you in California. SB 771. Newscome's administration will impose fines up to $200,000 for speech they don't agree with has been signed into law starting in November. I have been
Holy
told
fuck.
to not curse but critical. Are you kidding me? How can they do that? Isn't that a violation?
It is a massive violation of free speech, and
How is
this
that?
will go to the Supreme Court. And this is just in retaliation to Trump's stupid PM Bondi and her fucking comment about hate speech isn't free speech. Motherfucker, you said the exact opposite under Biden. The stupid. Again, we all love Charlie Kirk. People are allowed to say, I didn't like the guy. People can say this and let their jobs be the consequence. The government has no right stepping in. Like, we can, oh, they can't. It is illegal at all levels of government to do something like that. It is, yes, JJ, beyond unconstitutional. I like Vanilla's point. We should blockade California, but first we need to get all the sane people out, the people who are against it.
No, no, no. We should do that one Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie to California.
Oh, San Andreas fault.
Yes, that one.
Okay, yeah, they're trying to charge, buddy. They're fining people $200,000 for up to $200,000 for speech they don't agree with. If you text it, if you say it in public, if you put it on a social media,
That's a violation of freedom of speech.
yeah,
But mom, hate speech isn't covered by freedom of speech.
we've all been through this. We were just talking about it. Look at, see, my son, who you guys probably couldn't hear, was over there doing the hate speech isn't covered by free speech. He's right. Threats of direct violence are illegal. Everything else, yep, free speech, motherfuckers.
Well,
And you
trying to
can't
do
stop
what
me.
yeah, and they're trying to do what the UK has done.
And look how well that worked. Look how well that's working.
Uh-huh.
People are being brutally attacked with machetes, knives, forks, spoons, bats, bars, whatever the hell they can get their hands on. We've gone back to the caveman style thing. All because bang, bang, poo, pew, pew is scary.
I
Okay.
I just got up to shut the ceiling fan off, and I just need to say the three of you have the life, okay? Which one of you dragged the pillow in? Huh? Which one of you? Who
That's a good
my baby?
question, but it
Yeah.
wasn't me.
Who did it? Okay, ignore me, all three of you. Go ahead. Snore, sleep. See if I feed you.
You will. You know you will.
They're all passed out like they're drunken sailors.
Uh huh.
Unbelievable. Oh, it's cold. Now I'm cold.
Yep. Can't win for losing.
I'm hot. I'm cold. I'm hot. And no, it's not menopause. So don't anybody even suggest that. What are you laughing at, huh? We're past that shit, fortunately.
Just life.
Yep.
Just life in general.
All right, are we down for a show today or what?
I think we are.
Okay, let's hit it.
We're ready. We just had so much fun. And again, we learned something new.
Right?
California has gone full on CPB, that China's people, the Communist Republic
Yeah.
of China or whatever it is,
Right?
Communist Party of China. And yeah, no, this has got to stop. Unacceptable. It will be in the Supreme Court. I guarantee it. Just a
Uh,
matter of time. And California is going to get told to F the right off to the corner and pout over there because this shit ain't happening.
um, before we get started, I wanted to mention there was that acetafetamine comment that you wanted to
Oh, those
bring up
motherfuckers. Yeah,
about the idiots up on TikTok and all of that.
so evidently a bunch of people decided to prove Trump wrong about the safety of Tylenol and Tylenol
Crazy
causing
B, am I
autism.
talking to myself?
You're talking to yourself. I'm still here.
Oh,
Come
Lord
back.
help me.
I'll wait till she gets back. It's going to take a minute. Something must have dinged in the phone to cut out the mic. Might have to shut off the notifications, make it to a do not disturb. That's a good question. I don't know, Vanilla. That's a moral dilemma that I can't answer. Um, are you back, Dee?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was pointing out before Dee's untimely cut off from hearing me. I don't know why her device does this. It's weird,
No, it isn't.
but
You have a button that says shut D off. That's what it is.
I don't have a button to say shut D off
Uh huh.
because everyone else could hear you. You couldn't hear me.
Nope.
So either way, so the idiots
Yep.
deciding to prove Trump wrong decided to start taking Tylenol for the frickin' heck of it. And some of them potentially, of what I've heard, were in mass quantities of Tylenol. And I am just thinking their livers. I've said it a million times about my liver and how I have to be careful not to take Tylenol. And these
And we are not,
jackasses,
before she continues, we are not YouTube. Anybody else listening?
it's
We
not
are not
medical advice.
providing medical advice. This is
This is
personal advice and
actually this is a
it gets
personal experience, but the warning is on the bottle of on the label of Tylenol.
correct.
Can cause liver damage.
Right.
So these jackasses, and the thing is, if the dose is high enough, it can cause permanent liver damage, which means part of your liver is going bye bye, and you're going to have liver pain for many, many years to come, possible surgeries to come. Like the stupidity of people out there. I don't get it. I don't get how stupid people can be. And again, some of these videos may be people faking taking Tylenol like that. But some jackass is going to do it and not realize they were faking it. So, like, yeah, I've just had it with people doing stupid shit that can cause medical repercussions down the road, possibly within hours. Oh, now you're back again.
That was you that disappeared.
I just got told you came back in.
And I just showed, that's weird. I, di- I didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
Hmm, very interesting. We'll
I mean, on
blame
the plus
it.
side, cool yellow eyes. Yes, but you can still die from that bilirubin buildup in
And
your bloodstream that leads to the cool looking yellow eyes. That's the stuff that comes out in your urine. It's excreted. Not urine, sorry, excreted through the kidneys down to the bowels to be excreted through the fecal matter, if I remember correctly. No, sorry, got that backwards. Bilirubin's in the liver, but it looks like you have pea colored eyes and skin. My brain just did a freeze moment on that, but no, you don't want liver problems. Again, born with a bad liver, my entire life, I have had this problem. You don't want it. And by the way, mine is mild because I'm smart enough to stay away from certain things that can make it worse. These imbeciles, putting it nicely, have no clue how much worse it is when there's a massive flare up. And I just, God protect our country and the sane people within it. Billy, it's called Billy Rubin, and it is waste from your body that needs to be excreted. Um, Dee just sent me some stuff. What's this?
just a couple things that I thought I was looking for something had hit my feed about something, and there were just a couple things that popped up. We could save them for later, but if you wanna, I'm looking for. There was something in relationship to illegal immigration I was looking for, but I'm looking. Maybe I better go out on somewhere else. Give me 1 second, okay?
Yep.
I can't. I can't find it now. I knew I should have grabbed it when I saw too much stuff has gone by. Uh, if you want to pull one of them up, Crazy Bee, I don't know if it's worth reading or not.
Which one? I
Either
mean, the
one.
meme is funny, kind of.
Yeah, I think the meme is kind of funny.
It definitely is a accurate embodiment
Okay,
of
so
what is going on.
uh, this, yeah, this is it here, hun. If you could put this up, this is, I got it from a different news source. I didn't hear anything about it till right before we were ready to go live.
Okay.
It's from, so it's relevant to today's discussion.
Yes, it is.
Uh huh. If you want to show the meme first, I thought it was kind of appropriate because
All right.
I don't think anything there is a lie, is it? Is there?
No, I haven't seen anything in it that is.
And it kind of goes with today's immigration topic. And this is,
Yes, it does.
yeah, and
Let
this
me enlarge a little so people can see it properly. Oh,
and this,
nope. Because if I enlarge it to there,
yeah,
no one
that's
gets
too
to
much.
see it.
Yeah, a little. You make it a little smaller. I can still see it.
There, it covers the whole thing. All
I
right.
I see nothing. There. So a little smaller.
Actually, it covers the whole thing from beginning to end.
Oh, I see it. So this is actually from
From
Yeah, Bernie Sanders actually put this out on
and they
Truth
fixed it
on Truth on Truth
on
and
X.
yeah, on Truth Social it came from.
No, that's on X.
No, I
But
got.
she corrected it and put it onto Truth Social.
Oh, I see, Grasshopper. Okay, so Bernie says if you have health insurance, I'm asking you to fight, and it got changed to the word pay for those who don't. If you're native born, I'm asking you to fight, and it got changed to pay for the undocumented. If you can afford an education, I'm asking you to fight, pay for those who can't. The only way we defeat Trump is with human solidarity. And that got changed to lies, hate, and division.
It's an understatement these days.
Yeah, I lost the chat.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
It's going to do this because I have it in studio mode. My bad. It should be back. If it's not, I don't know.
No, I
Uh
don't
oh.
see. Uh-oh, what?
Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me.
No, I heard you, but I don't see it.
I don't know at that point then.
Hmm.
That is weird.
Okay, hold on. I'm clicking on buttons. That's what you always do. Hold on. One moment, please. All right, everybody's back. All right. I'm down to Vanilla, though, saying, wow, that's fun. The chat rolls on its own, right?
You can scroll it down because there was more after that. Quite a bit after that, actually.
Yeah, it won't let me scroll. Hmm.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Yep, well, I was right. Okay, so next up is this story that is breaking news. Uh, and that is one detainee is dead, two are critically wounded after a shooting at the Dallas ICE facility. Officials said the shooter died from a self inflicted gunshot wound, and no ICE personnel were among the victims. FBI Director Kash Patel said an anti ICE message was found on an unspent shell casing. What's that going to be the new thing?
Evidently.
You know what I mean? Like, where do you go to get engrave a bullet? Is that where you go?
No,
Uh,
you just do it at home with an engraving kit that
I
you
know
pick
you
up on
do.
Amazon for $20.
I know that, but I'm just saying that remember things remembered? That place you
Mm-hmm.
get engravings done? Maybe that could be resurrected for, bullets remembered or something like that.
They could make a lot of money off of the terrorists that, and then
Mm-hmm.
we have a trail of who did what.
Mm-hmm.
Save
Exactly.
the FBI some headache. And I
Right.
bet some are stupid enough to actually do it.
Yep. Alrighty. So this just came out at 4 p.m. I believe that would be Central Standard Time. No,
Yes.
3 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Well,
Okay.
251 is what it
Mhm.
says right here. So,
Right.
yep.
That's close to 3 p.m. Thank you. I'll take 3
Oh, 2 minute, 2 hour, 2:51 and 36 seconds p.m. Oh,
p.m.
sorry. I'll behave.
Okay. A shooter killed a detainee and injured two others outside an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Dallas after firing from a nearby rooftop Wednesday morning, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The shooter fired indiscriminately at the ICE building, including at a van in the Sallyport where the victims were shot, DHS said in its statement. What the heck is a Sallyport?
I believe it's where the trucks pull up to pick up the people to transport.
I never heard that word before.
I've heard the phrase, but I'm not as familiar with it.
I have never heard. If anybody in the chat knows what a Sallyport is, would you please let us know?
And
The
why did
shoot.
it say one up top? Did it say one? Yeah, it says one detainee dead, but down here it says two.
Okay, so Let me go. The shooter, whose identity has not been released by authorities, which it has been, died from a self inflicted gunshot wound, authorities said. The wounded detainees were in critical condition Wednesday. Originally, DHS has said two detainees were killed and one was in critical condition.
Oh, I missed the originally part there. Whoops.
Go ahead. Authorities in Dallas said it wasn't clear who the shooter was targeting. Well, duh. During a news conference, police didn't provide any other details about the victims, but emphasized they didn't include any law enforcement officials. R. Joseph Rothwork, the special agent in charge of the Dallas office, said during the news conference, oh my gosh, I got Elmo on the brain. La 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 la, Elmo's World. Okay, D, snap out of it. Said during the news conference that ammunition found near the shooter's body contained messages that are anti ICE in nature. FBI Director Kash Patel shared a photo on social media depicting 5 unspent shell casings on the ground with anti ICE written on one of them. Patel, who has been criticized for releasing incorrect information about the assassination of conservative commentator and activist Charlie Kirk, said that even though the Dallas shooting is still under investigation, the initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. Um,
Of course.
yeah,
But
I
here's the
believe,
thing, I don't think it was an attack on ICE. That could have been a hit on the cartel, the illegals they were bringing back.
yes. Let me
Cartels have been known to do this shit.
And let me see if I get a better hit of where they're. I
Oh,
hate.
there's still more to read, but
Okay. Hold on, go ahead. Maybe there's. I did. Law enforcement officials at the news conference urged the public to tone down the political rhetoric toward immigration officers. This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz said at the news conference. We should not be putting language out there that inspires madmen. U.S. Senator John Cornyn, Republican from Texas, called the incident horrific and said his office is making sure that all resources are brought to bear in the investigation. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the shooting was an attack on ICE law enforcement.
or it could be made to look that way and it was a cartel hit.
Mm-hmm. Crazy Bee, why don't you read that while I go see about getting, they identified him, so why don't you read that and let me get the, who he is, okay?
Okay, well, before while you're also doing that and listening, cannabis confirmed a Sally Port is a secure entryway to an enclosure.
Hmm, I
So
never heard that term. That's
that's
in,
what I thought it was just kind of where like a loading dock type area.
yeah, that's what we would call it, would be a loading dock.
Yeah,
I've
but in
never,
this case, it is for transporting security stuff or people. So secure
okay.
entry that wasn't as secure as they thought it was. So all right. So the Trump administration has made immigration a top priority, moving non-immigration federal law enforcement officers to help ICE arrest, detain and deport thousands of undocumented immigrants, including some with legal permission to be in the country. Why do they keep throwing that up? Like, okay, yes, some are here legally, but they are associated with troublemakers, so they must be detained and investigated. Duh. Oh my God. In some cases, ICE has also detained U.S. citizens. Yes, if you are a U.S. citizen helping an illegal, you also should be
Yes,
facing some consequences.
correct.
They're not necessarily being deported, the U.S. citizens, but they definitely are being detained and arrested. Make it clear there's a reason. Sorry. The administration has routinely touted the arrest of men who have been convicted of sexual assaults and other crimes and said law enforcement is targeting the worst of the worst, but the government data shows the majority of those targeted by ICE have no criminal record. They came in illegally. That is their criminal record. Like, is it that hard to understand? Governor Greg Abbott wrote on X shooting that the shooting will not slow our arrest, detention, or deportation of illegal immigrants. We will work with ICE and the Dallas PD to get to the bottom of the assassin's motives. We will offer ICE additional support and assist their operations. The shooting is at least the third at a Texas ICE facility in recent months.
That's a
And
lot.
that is why ICE agents
Uh-huh.
wear masks.
Mm-hmm.
And Gavin Newsom, being a dumb fuck that he is, tried banning it. And he doesn't have a say of what the federal government's attire is. So, dumbass.
They wonder why they need protection.
Oh my God. My head is already hurting thinking about this stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Oh,
so I've just
cannabis
sent
says
you
it's
the
basically a doorway that opens. You enter an area, the door closes behind you, and the secure door then and secures closed, then another door opens. Oh, so it's like when
Oh,
you're going into a jail cell, how they have that
right.
little locked off area
Yes.
first,
I'm
or
trying
to
to
the
think.
main.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I don't know if we call what do we call that? I've we have to call it something different because I've never heard it called a Sally port before.
Okay, I learned something new.
Yeah, there's our
I learned a more detailed description of what it
yes.
is.
There is your vocabulary word for the day. You will be tested at the end of the week on the definition.
If we remember to even do so, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
There you go.
A 4th of July attack. Oh, no, you had something you wanted to read. What am I doing? What
No,
was it you
no. I
found?
just sent you the update on him from did you get it?
Yes, it came through.
Okay, there's a video, and then if you scroll down, there's four pictures with the shell casings. So if you want to, can
Okay.
you do the video first, and then we might not have to read it?
Yeah. Do you want me to just give up on this article since we already know?
Yeah, why don't we?
Okay. All right.
Because
So they found the
they like
shooter,
right
and it was a 29-year-old Joshua
and
Yan.
yes, yes, and this is Rex Sisters bringing you breaking news as usual.
We begin, though, with Brooke Taylor. She is on the ground in Dallas with an update for us right now. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, guys. Yeah, officials spent most of this press conference talking about how this anti-ICE rhetoric has to stop, or you have this violence like this happen. Federal agents, they're just trying to enforce the law, these officials say. The FBI is now investigating this as a targeted act. Here is what we know. Homeland Security says that before 7 a.m., a sniper started shooting from a nearby rooftop and fired indiscriminately at the ICE facility, including a van that was in the Sally Port. DHS says 3 detainees in that van were shot, and at least one of the detainees was killed. The gunman then turned the gun on himself. Officials say no ICE agents were hurt. The FBI, though, shared pictures of rounds found right near that shooter with anti-ICE engraved on those shell casings. This is the latest in a string of targeted attacks on ICE facilities right here in Texas. At this same facility, a man was arrested for making a bomb threat last month. Then in July, a group ambushed officers outside a separate Texas ICE facility. One officer was shot and survived that shooting. Senator Ted Cruz was here at this press conference and spoke about this violence.
Violence has no place. It is wrong. And we should come together. If we want to have a debate about immigration policies, we can do so in the halls of Congress without demonizing each other and especially without demonizing the men and women who every day put on a badge and go risk their lives to keep us safe.
Good point.
And of course, so many responding to this attack this afternoon. Vice President J.D. Vance posted a statement on X saying, quote, "The obsessive attack on law enforcement, particularly ICE, must stop." You also have Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He tweeted, quote, "This assassination will not slow our arrest, detention, and deportation of illegal immigrants." Again, guys, this happened outside of a processing center where illegal migrants are taken to get processed after they're arrested by ICE.
All right, Brooke Taylor in Dallas on the scene for us there. Stand by. Thank you.
All right, Bill Daley's a former FBI investigator and joins us now.
Do we want to watch this part or no?
Seems like a daily occurrence, Bill.
Yeah,
that
let's see what it says, okay?
Other
If
day,
you don't like it, we can take
the
it.
sun
Okay.
comes up,
Well, it's a
dawn
12-minute
breaks, and
video,
another
so-
politically motivated
Okay.
shooting. It's just no
Just so
sign
you're
stop.
aware.
We'll need to pause it.
It's
then.
horrible, John. And John, over these past several months and even the past since the administration took over, we've seen this kind of push by politicians and other people around ICE facilities. They've gone as far as even some of these elected officials kind of, trying to force their way in, stopping vehicles. So, it is kind of a buildup of what we've seen over the past few months, only to this point to a deadly level. I think a lot of people speak about this rhetoric. I'll cite a few things, but I know a lot of people speaking about it, like to talk more about the investigation. But, when you have elected officials calling ICE agents, agents, modern Gestapo agents, or, governors moving to not have masks on ICE agents because they want people to know who they are so they can go after them. All of these things are lead up to people who might be prone, who are driven in a certain with ideology or direction, as we've seen today, and they carry out these horrific acts.
Bill, what is with this? I don't know if you would call it a trend, but for lack of a better word, the trend we're seeing where these assassins and mass shooters now like to try and carve little messages on shell casings before they carry out these shootings. Is this something that you have seen before the last few months, or is this new?
This is, it may happen periodically over a period of time where individuals, murderers, or other people may do something similar to this, but it's not a trend. This seems to be certainly a trend. We saw it with the Mangione shooting in New York against the United Healthcare CEO, where he left those bullets on the sidewalk. We saw it with Charlie Kirk's shooter, and now here. So, you hate to say copycat, but certainly all the hallmarks of it is, within the past few weeks, months, if you will, we have people doing the same thing. The other thing, Jillian, I wanted to talk about is the FBI is investigating this. I think, a couple of positive things to be taken away from this. A, law enforcement was extremely responsive to this. FBI there on the scene. I think under the leadership of Director Patel, they're trying to be very forward-leaning and transparent. That was mentioned both by the SAC, agent in charge of the Dallas office, as well as Director Patel, who came out and posted those images that you just referenced. So they're trying to be as transparent, as forward-leaning as they can, and to help the American people not start to spin their wheels with worrying, who's this shooting, is that they were able to provide some clarity pretty quickly with releasing that photo.
I want to come back, Bill, to this idea of the rhetoric. This is Joshua Johnson, who's the ICRO director there in Dallas. Here's what he said a little more than an hour ago.
This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop.
Hold
There are people out there who...
Alrighty.
Not only does the rhetoric have to stop, but they really need to take a good look at their intake processes.
Yeah.
Meaning how they're transporting. We know that there's a problem getting just past the gate, but once they're in there, is there ways they can mitigate the situations?
Yeah.
Do they have to be transported during the day? Could it happen at nighttime, perhaps? Would that be better? Would there be less people out and about protesting? I don't know, would they be at home, making dinner and getting to bed and getting kids and spouses, situated? Would that be better? They stayed in jail and just, transported at night? I don't know. But I would suggest that all of their safety precautions are re-looked at, considering this gentleman is saying he's already had 2 incidents at his facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't look to me to be very secure when it just looks like you open up a gate, pull the van up or the car up, and you're inside. And then
Yeah.
there's another gate and you're inside. That doesn't seem very secure. I mean, heck, I've watched, just go out on YouTube and see what local police do with a drunk person. They actually pull into a garage and then go into another, transport the person from the garage into like a little waiting room and then go into the processing room and then go into a jail cell. So
Mm-hmm.
that seems to be a better process. And then perhaps maybe some facilities that are being unused by the federal government, since we know there are so many unoccupied buildings, since people are still working from home, that would be on the outskirts of town versus uh, in the inner cities. I'm thinking like a military base kind of situation, where
Mm-hmm.
there's a gate that has to lift up before entry is even made, or fencing is lifted up. I mean, there needs to be some type of better security for for law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'd be scared. If it was my spouse going out every day, I would be afraid. If it would be myself, I'd probably be afraid just as well. You have that extra little oomph in your step, knowing it was bad enough before all this was going on, right? But
And now
now
it's getting
there,
worse.
yep. And as you mentioned, this doesn't even bring up the cartel issue.
It could have been a cartel hit made to look like an anti-ice idiot.
Okay. Hit play.
That is an option.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees.
We should mention that there were the shootings at ICE facilities in Texas not long ago. Add to this. And then you have the shooter, who sources identified to Fox News as 29-year-old Joshua John. We're trying to find out more about this individual who takes a gun. Looks like, according to the stripper clip that we saw a picture of posted by the FBI director, that it was just a typical hunting rifle with a capacity of 5 cartridges. Takes that weapon, aims it at the ICE facility, starts firing at will, and then takes their own life. And is it this rhetoric that people just keep doubling down on that suddenly causes someone to snap?
With kind of borrowing a little bit from, I know from my behavioral analysis friends, you just don't know what reaches a individual and what breaking point they have. And although many people can kind of, flick this rhetoric off as being just that, political rhetoric, it does affect a number of people. And I think today, John, with all of the various sources that people are getting information, or ones they maybe want to lock themselves into with regard to social media or news outlets, and they're hearing it over and over again, the fragility of people, where they are at any particular moment, may lead them to commit one of these acts. But the other thing too, John, as we look into this investigation, and the FBI is doing this right now, is to find out, where did this person, where were they getting this information from? Where was he being, if you want to call it, kind of radicalized to conduct one of these acts? Who was he around? Was he talking to other people about this? It's the same thing they're going through right now, still on the heels of the investigation of the Charlie Kirk assassination, is to find out who else might be in the orbit of this person, who may have either encouraged, provided information, in any way knew about these plans and didn't come forward. So, there's still a lot of stones to be turned over in this investigation.
We've been talking a lot on this channel, Bill, this week about mask mandates for ICE officers, a new rule proposed and put forward by Governor Gavin Newsom. Take a listen to what he said on Saturday. I want to get your response.
I'll be signing a bill, the first in the nation, saying enough. ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of? What are you
He's
afraid
a
of?
fucking moron.
He
How
wants
does
to
that
get people
play into all
killed.
of this when we're talking about the identities of specific individual ICE agents?
Yeah, well, I can tell you what they're afraid of. They're afraid of something that occurred today, and they're afraid of something that may happen to them or their families if they're identified. We're not talking about normal, everyday police operations where people in patrol cars or FBI agents are out there conducting, everyday activities. But when they're involved in these more contentious issues, which seem to be in certain locales more contentious than others, is they're very much concerned about their well-being and safety of themselves and their families who may come under attack. Could be everything from people showing up at their doorstep. Very easy today, a couple of clicks away, you can find out who somebody is by an image and therefore where they live. So those are the things people are concerned about. So I mean, you have to really, when the governor says that, you have to say, well, what is he then saying? He's saying that it's okay for all these people to then be further exposed because they're carrying out their duties as sworn law enforcement officers of this country, carrying out the laws have been prescribed by Congress. So, I mean, I think we have to take a look at that very sobering. The other thing, Jillian, is that, with a lot of the talk about, people having due process. Well, today, two of these people who are being just detained are denied their due process because they've been killed.
Right.
So when you flip that around, you have to say, what is really happening here when someone's willing to take not just someone's life, if the intention was to take an ICE agent's life or ICE agent's life, but also the due process of those people who are just being detained. They've not been convicted, and there's been no other specific allegations lodged against them, and their due process now has halted.
Yes, you have a gunman who allegedly was anti-ICE by the inscribings on the cartridges, the shell casing, and it ended up that it was detainees who died here. Exactly. You mentioned this idea of risk and danger for agents who go out there every day, and they are just merely carrying out the laws of the United States of America. We heard personally from one of them back in July on Martha's show, The Story. Her name is Selena. Listen to what she told us.
I'm very proud to say that I work for ICE, and to have to take off my polo or, hide behind so that way my family is not put in danger or my colleagues are not put in danger. And I'm very, like I said, proud to work for ICE and to have to kind of put my polo down or my badge away for the safety of us.
So she says that when she's not on the streets there doing her job, she's got to go unidentified because of the potential risk to her or her family.
Exactly right, John. And it all ties back to what we first started speaking about. It's this rhetoric. It's when elected officials are out there on national television saying that, these ICE agents are modern day Gestapo. Well, what are you supposed to do? I mean, if somebody heard that, during World War II, what are they inclined to do? They act out. And so, by using those words and describing people in a fashion who are law enforcement officers of the country sworn to uphold the current laws of our country, not being guided by politics here, but by the law. And they very much concerned about their safety, and it makes sense that they need to protect themselves. So, I hope there's superseding federal statutes that will allow for all these federal officers and ICE agents to continue to cover themselves in states like California and other jurisdictions where they need to do it.
All right, Bill, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for taking time with us on this story. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.
You're very
Do you
welcome.
think that Newsom's bill will be, is it going to be legit? Will ICE have time?
No, it's gonna get rejected.
Okay.
It'll get rejected. His bill on the ICE agents not being allowed to wear masks and his bill on the free speech, the speech regulation BS.
There should be something about bringing these frivolous lawsuits to fruition. It's a waste of the taxpayer dollar. It's a waste of time. There's so many other issues that need to be corrected, and he's gonna piss around with, trying to get ICE agents unmasked. You know, he has a security detail.
Mm-hmm.
He isn't one of them going home alone by themselves, being identified. I just don't understand him. Well, who does?
Not me, but
All
that's
right,
pretty
so
much par for the course.
right. So that's the breaking news that we have for you today
Mm-hmm.
that happened. What do you have up next, Crazy B?
Um, this one right here.
Oh, this was sad.
I used to live in the area. I'm familiar
Did,
with it.
did you? Two men were out on bond before an Oakland cop's death. Their judge deemed unsafe to practice. This was updated August 30th. That
Yep.
tells you how much news has occurred. We're almost at the end of September, and these were stories that we had wanted to bring to you regarding ICE, immigration, and all of that.
Yeah. It sucks, but let's jump here.
Yeah. The pregnant widow of Oakland County Sheriff's Deputy Bradley Reckling stood at a podium last year and laid the blame for her husband's death, at least in part, on a judge. Judge Kirsten Nielsen
Mother.
Hardig, out of Troy, had been too lenient, Jacqueline Reckling said. Not long before Deputy Reckling's death, Hardig handled cases for the man responsible and his criminal partner.
Oh, 1 second. Right there.
Okay. Hardig delayed a ruling for one of the men who was out on bond and let the other out. Now Jacqueline Reckling's husband was dead. Had his bond not been reduced, maybe Brad would have still been here, and I would have still had my husband, and my kids would still have their dad, Jacqueline Reckling said. What the public didn't know was that the rulings happened not only shortly before Deputy Reckling's June 2024 death, but also around the time of a state-requested psychological evaluation for 52-4 District Court Judge Hardick. A subsequent report deemed her unsafe to practice and is said to have been completed 2 days after a ruling in one of the men's cases. The report was given directly to Hardick. She gave it to the state's judicial oversight body 6 months later, in December of
Whoa.
2024.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The finding was revealed in a misconduct complaint filed in June 2025 against the still working Hardick, who has challenged the accuracy of the report and who declined to comment personally or comment at length through a spokesman and attorney. That anything was wrong with the rulings themselves is controversial. A lawyer for one of the men has stood by the judge's ruling for her client and questioned how a judge can be responsible for everything a defendant does while out on bond. Yet the fact that Harding was able to make the rulings at all while her mental health was in question and continued to sit on the bench after being deemed unsafe to practice has raised concerns, including by her chief judge. He cited the perception surrounding the Reckling shooting suspect's rulings in a denied request to temporarily remove Harding from her docket. Legal experts who spoke with the Free Press said no matter her true mental status or the soundness of any rulings around that time, the situation invites a loss of public confidence in the judiciary. It illustrates a nationwide struggle in dealing with judges facing mental capacity concerns and opens the door to costly taxpayer funded appeals. Maybe they should take psychological tests before becoming a judge.
Yeah, I mean,
I
makes perfect sense to me.
mm-hmm,
Don't know
just
why anyone else has a problem with it.
just saying. Is that it
Oh,
on that?
no.
Okay. Without confidence and integrity in judges, our whole judicial system and rule of law crumbles, said Coley Law School professor Renalia Du Bois, who prepares lawyers to be for mandated professional responsibility testing.
Is there anything? Yep, there's more.
The lack of trust was evident in Jacqueline Reckling's quivering voice this July as she recalled learning about the unsafe to practice finding while still so actively living her loss. It just kind of creates this thought in your head like, could this have possibly been avoided? The now mother of four said, with little voices piping up in the background at times. And you know, that's a hard cycle to go down. What's done is done. It is unclear what risk was feared in the unsafe to practice determination and what about Harding's mental health prompted state judicial investigators to request Harding be examined. That's odd, very odd. She handled other cases, including a publicized stabbing and an embezzlement case around the same time, too. There's been no exact connection made between her rulings and her mental health status. Jacqueline Reckling thinks there should be a review of cases from that time, as well as the protocols that allowed Harding to stay on the bench with her mental capacity in question. Now, hold on one second, Crazy B. Am I reading this correctly? She was asked to take the test. She
No,
did.
I think it was mandated. She had to.
Okay, but they never got the report? It didn't go
Oh, they
directly.
did. It was just delayed because,
I thought it said at the beginning she only gave it to them in December.
mm, but she'd had it since June.
Right.
She never
But
turned in the report until
what
6 months later.
right. And what I'm saying is if something is mandated by somebody, they're the ones that should be getting the copy. Why did
Yes, but that doesn't mean anyone's going to routinely double check to make sure it's all being done. They might have thrown it to the side because something else happened
True.
and forgot about it.
True. Okay. That is troublesome.
Yes, it is, but I know how that state works, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's exactly what happened.
Okay. In an interview with the Free Press, the executive director of the judicial investigative body that called for Harding's mental evaluation and issued the formal complaint against her highlighted the confidentiality around both mental health and the commission's work. Because of that, the public doesn't know and likely won't learn the details from when Harding was asked to be evaluated, said Lynn Howland of the Judicial Tenure Commission. The public should be wary of that. There is nothing to suggest that the Commission should have taken any different steps with respect to Judge Harding than those it took, he said. The Commission has not accused Harding of being currently mentally unable to perform her duties. Then why the hell would you ask her to take the frickin' test in the first place?
My
It,
point.
uh
Do you know how many cases are probably going to get overturned because of
huh.
this?
Instead, she's accused of failing for 6 months to turn over that unsafe psychological report when she should have, and a litany of other allegations, including that she created a climate of fear amongst staff at her courthouse.
So,
Oh
like working with Ellen
gosh.
DeGeneres.
Yes. Harding has argued that she was not obligated to turn the report over and is fighting the other claims against her, too. The Judicial Tenure Commission can ask the Michigan Supreme Court to suspend a judge before it ever files a complaint against a judge if it believes that there is a serious threat to the public or the administration of justice. The Commission can also request a suspension once it files a complaint. It made such a request in 2014 when a Detroit judge was believed to be mentally unfit. Helen said he doesn't anticipate taking that route in Harding's case. If the Commission has reliable information that a judge is a current risk, that is the kind of thing the Commission would try to act on. What do you mean, try to act on? Said Helen, who is also general counsel for the Commission. Oh my gosh.
What they mean by try is bureaucracy in the way.
Exactly. Why even have a commission? You want somebody that's going to take action. Oh my lord, I'm smacking my head. If you could
Bureaucracy.
see me, I need the smack me in my head emoji up. A spokesperson for Harding declined to comment on the judge's mental health around the time she presided over the men tied to Reckling's death. Asked about the judge's fitness to serve shortly after the complaint was filed, Daniel Charon of Royal Oak-based public affairs and communications firm North Coast Strategy said Harding continues to sit on the bench. We knew that. You didn't need that sentence. Charon was no longer in Harding's employ at the time of publication, and her attorney declined to comment. It appears maybe that person worked for her.
Yeah.
The 59-year-old former assistant prosecutor and judge of more than a decade, initially elected in 2010 and given her third 6-year term in 2022, makes $180,741 and is currently working on a reduced caseload.
Okay.
Better,
Like that's going to help.
I'll bet that's not reflected in her salary.
Of
Regarding
course not.
regarding her psychological evaluation, by Harding's own description, concerns with her mental health arose long before the two men's cases and Deputy Reckling's death, which means that all the cases before it. She just admits it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
That's part of the problem.
Smack me in the head again. Smack, smack, smack. The Commission asked in October 2023 that Harding undergo an examination by the State Bar of Michigan Lawyers and Judges Assistance Program, according to her formal response to the complaint filed against her. The assistant program offers support to judges, lawyers, and law students when it comes to depression, substance use, and other concerns of well-being. It also offers monitoring, which can be a sort of diversion program for when that group gets in trouble and needs evidence complying with treatment. Harding met with the assistant programs director in late 2023, according to her filing. She agreed to let the Commission see that subsequent report, her filing stated. After that, the assistant program director, the Commission, Harding, and her lawyer discussed Harding going to a Colorado facility, her response showed. Grasshopper. He agreed to go. The facility found her unsafe to practice due to disruptive behavior and personality dysfunction at the time of a late May 2024 evaluation, according to the misconduct complaint. That information was supposed to be reduced or blacked out in the public complaint, but was visible in some formats.
Wow.
Yay!
Michigan for you.
Yay! Harding says she didn't have to turn over the psych report. Harding's formal response to the complaint says it is in dispute that the Colorado facility competently and actually evaluated her. She argues there were serious concerns regarding the accuracy of the report and noted a lack of specialization for evaluating lawyers and judges. The facility had financial motives for its evaluation process, report, and recommendation, she said. Additionally, she pointed to how the court rule that empowers the commission to make her undergo an examination says a mental examination can be required. Harding argues that means one, and that the May 2024 evaluation counted as a second examination. Oh my lord, we're going after the word or a? Really? That's
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to argue over?
Yeah.
One or two? Oh my lord. Ugh. Keep going, Crazy Bee. Harding also argues that the court rule doesn't explicitly require her to turn over a subsequent report, just that she undergo an exam. The commission was supposed to take her to court to try to access the report, she said. The commission didn't do so. Harding eventually did hand the Colorado facility report over in December 2024, however. The chief judge asked Harding to be pulled from the docket. Months after she handed the report over, but before the public learned about the disputed psychological finding, Chief Judge Travis Reeds found out about it. Harding inadvertently let it slip in February, according to a letter Reeds sent to State Court Administrator Tom Boyd. The letter, dated April 15th and about 2 months before the misconduct complaint was issued, was provided to the Free Press by Oakland County Public Information Officer Bill Mullen. In his letter, Reeds acknowledged that a misconduct investigation was underway and requested Boyd's okay to temporarily remove Harding's docket until the probe was finished. Reeds did not appear to know the exact date of Harding's evaluation, but enclosed a letter he had seen written in Harding's defense. It referenced the unsafe description and was dated June 9, 2024. Reeds pointed to the timing of Harding's handling the Reckling suspect's case and Deputy Reckling's death around that date. He pointed to how Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard already publicly slammed Harding's ruling. The sheriff spoke alongside Jacqueline Reckling at that podium. I have watched the video of one of the preliminary exam and watched Judge Harding's required briefing of venue. If the case was brought in the correct court and argued with the prosecutor about the wrong burden of proof, Reeds wrote, even if those events and behavior had nothing to do with her unsafe and unfit diagnosis, if the public finds out, they will believe it did.
Oops, my mouse. 1 second. There we go. Sorry.
I don't think she should have let more than 5 months go by with that diagnosis without voluntarily to take a leave. Seeking proof everything is fine. I think we should probably, this is really dragging out as an article.
Yeah, it is. Hold
It's
on.
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah,
It's a book.
it's a book. So
Y'all can
that'll
read it.
be yeah, you can continue to read it in the description below. I don't mind reading it, but I'm boring myself. So if you're still alive in the chat, raise your hand. But this is really concerning as
Yeah.
far as there's a judge there that's unfit to serve. They want to take her off the docket, and she doesn't. They require her to get a report.
And she basically has two middle fingers for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as somebody that is HR, that if I send you to employee assistance, I will
It's
get.
implied. You
Yeah,
send the report back.
yeah. Crazy. I'm just smacking my head.
I
All
know
right.
people are stupid.
All right. What do you got next for us, crazy?
Looking, we got 15 minutes, so I think we can get through an article.
How about a
Well,
video?
article maybe
You got
two.
a video?
Not short enough. I think most of those are 10+ minutes, and that's not including us stopping to talk every few minutes for a while to break it up.
Well, do you have why don't we do a couple of the shorts that we had? Like, do you have the Japanese kids or anything that's in the happy stuff file, or
Let me see what I got lined up.
while the chat tries to. I got 445.
My eyes itching. A lot of this stuff's pertaining to Charlie Kirk. Let me see what I have on the other thumb drive. Nope.
If you want to pull an article up and whatever, go ahead. You could do the reading while I repeat.
Now, let me see if I can find the video and the list because I don't edit the shorts anyways.
Okay.
Okay. This actually pertains to illegals.
Okay.
Hold, if I can get my hand to work. And then we'll cover those last two articles tomorrow or next time.
That'll be fine.
Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's hit play on this. Oh, this is from X.
Twitter.
My bad.
Thank you, Congresswoman. You were referring to those
Can you turn that up?
That's what I was just going to do. It is really quiet. Let's see if that works.
Thank you, Congresswoman. You were referring to those in petition as your constituents. Do you view even those with absolutely no form of legal status at all as your constituents as well?
So I didn't realize this was such a controversy until the right-wing media started attacking me for using the word. So I Googled the word constituent. The definition of constituent is somebody who is part of a community. Doesn't matter what their legal status is. If somebody is an asylum seeker, if somebody has a green card, if somebody is a U.S. citizen, if somebody lives in the community, I represent them. Constituent does not mean voter. I don't care if none of these individuals can vote for me. I don't give a shit. I care about making sure that the United States government, with our taxpayer dollars, is treating human beings with dignity and respect. So yes.
Thank you,
Wait, so who is this chick?
I'm not sure. I can't see the top.
Representative Ansari. She's a Democrat out of Arizona. Last I knew, constituents were the people who voted for you, not just the people living in your community. The American citizens, voting age, are your constituents. Their children are their problem, that they tell you how they want it dealt with. They speak for their children.
No,
So yeah, I think she needs a better definition of the word constituent, or she needs to use the one that was written into the laws, not the one she just made up. That's kind of bullshit.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I'll tell you that. Wow. Um, okay then. So that's where she stands. We know not to vote her in again if you live in Arizona and you care about anything and everything pertaining to your family. Um,
Well,
wow. I don't know if I would trust her. Would
not
you?
at all. I definitely would have take issue. I'm trying to get a better hit on uh, the definition crazy B of a constituent in relationship to United States law.
Okay.
Uh, the definition in the dictionary is just generic in nature. So, is there a more broader definition?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Hold on, let me see. Do 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 do. Okay, so according to, here we go. Of course, it's got a AI's got to pop first. Blah 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 blah. Oh well. That's what we want. Crazy B, could you do us while I'm looking at this definition? I'll read this one. Would you do up what the legal definition of a constituent is?
Yes, I can pull that up.
Okay, so when referring to the U.S. Constitution, the term constituent is used in the sense of establishing or setting up the government by laying out its fundamental laws and principles according to the definition in the U.S. Constitution.
Okay. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. um,
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Okay, yeah, that one was not very well defined. Dictionary.com. Law Dictionary. So, Law Dictionary, let me share this, and y'all can look it up on your own. I'm not throwing the link in. Is a word used to as a correlative to attorney to denote one who constitutes another his agent and or invest with the authority to act for him. It is also used in the language of politics as a correlative to represent the constituents of a legislator, being those whom he represents and whose interest he is to care for in public affairs, usually the electors of his district.
So, could we highlight that and repost that to that dippity doo?
I can potentially. It's going to take me a little bit. I won't be able to do it right now because I got to take the screenshot. Then I got to go ahead and highlight it and then post
Well,
it.
just send it to me and I'll send it to her.
Well, I can get it edited so it's highlighted. But I can't do it while we're doing the live because
Well, duh.
that's what I'm saying. Is basically,
Yeah, that's given.
it's going to take me a few minutes to get this saved and highlighted and all that.
Okay. All right. So I have seen nothing going on in the chat at all. So did I miss anything?
A few things. Hold on, I'm still trying to get the screenshot. It's being stupid. Oh my god, I apologize. Okay, got it. Save. All right, saved. So in here we had JJ left off at driving to work. Vanilla said, "I'm here to oh yeah, unlock a new slur. It's calling someone a Tylenol baby."
What?
Oh my gosh.
Art, she may be technically correct, but it's a very stupid position. I agree. Find law one who has the authority to who has authorizes another to act as an agent, which would imply you voted for them. Yes. I am here to get wrecked. Is dippity do a technical term? Well, he put team.
Mm-hmm. Who said that?
Arby.
Uh-huh.
I would love to get wrecked, but I'm trying the clean living thing for a bit. No booze, no smoke. Trying to improve my diet too.
Well, that's good.
Made it to work. Great. Glad to see it, JJ. I actually understood your first message and then just saw your second one with the correct typing, but I knew what you meant. Arby says, I haven't been on a scale, but I'm definitely down a few pounds. Awesome.
I'm definitely down a few pounds.
You need to be eating.
No.
This boy is 130 something pounds at almost 6 foot tall, like a hair under 6 foot. Unacceptable. Get some weight on you, boy.
No.
Stop with that. We're almost done. So,
well, we are done. Yeah, we are done.
Well, yeah, we got 4 minutes.
Yeah. And yes, dippity do is a technical term. Arby.
I do believe it is a technical term.
Dippity do, other names for it would be a jag off, an asshole. What else crazy be?
Dipshit.
Dipshit.
Broad.
Yeah.
Bimbo. I can think of a few more. Yep. We can go old school. It'd be fun.
Yep. So, yeah, you don't want to be called a dippity do. That's just trying to do that clean language that JJ.
Fuck California.
Yeah, JJ suggested.
Nope.
Because of Newsom. So, all right. Well, I'm done for the day.
I am as well.
Eric just walked in. We're having leftover spaghetti.
Yes, Texas was supposedly an Antifa one, is what I saw in a couple places too. Crown Target brought that up in the chat, and I posted it. I didn't get a chance to read it because Dee was reading an article and forgot to go back to it. But yes, supposedly it's Antifa. But I still think there is the possibility the cartels hired the dude to make it look like Antifa, but it was really a cartel hit. He might have missed his target and took himself out before the cartels could.
Can you do me a favor? Do you have that X post by any chance?
What for? What?
The Antifa shooter.
RB just said. So what? Texas wasn't Antifa. Is that the didn't watch. Too long didn't read. Did it too long. Um, there was and Crown Target said it was someone he watches on YouTube that
Okay.
it
Well,
tracks
we want a
the
more.
guy was Antifa.
Yeah, we want a more.
Exactly. That's where we need more details. We need more info. And I hope they look at multiple possibilities and don't just write
Yeah.
it off as Antifa because, again, it wouldn't be anything that the cartels haven't done before, hiring somebody else to take people out. I mean, they've hired kids and teenagers down in Mexico to take out other people. Oh, you posted the clip in the server? Okay, I'll have it ready for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did you want to grab it and we could end the.
It's her. Let me see if it's an
Well,
actual clip because some of her videos can be quite long.
yeah, if it's just a quick clip, I just wanted an X post of it if that's all you have. That would.
No, this isn't an X post. This would be YouTube or what
Okay,
other
no, we just.
platform she's on.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
it is a
me.
short,
It
I
is a
think.
short.
Hold on, let me double check.
Okay. I'm looking real quick before we go because I would like to just end this story and be done with it. Not downplaying. Oh, this is interesting. Oh my gosh. Ugh, are you kidding me?
Okay, it wasn't in there. I'm. I didn't see it, Crown. It's a short. It doesn't reveal much, but you need to overall research history to understand her reasons that she does not list in it. Okay, that's okay. So that's why I didn't directly, yes, correlate it to Antifa, but the ideology behind it would make sense. We can bring it up tomorrow, um, because it is a bit of a longer short, and I don't know how long you want to be on here for, D.
Yeah, we'll end it here. There's a couple things popping right now about it, so it's gonna take
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I don't
I
know
think we need to dig a little bit more as more info comes out.
exactly. It's
And
still a little bit fresh.
yeah,
All right, we are now at 5:01, and yes, we were a couple minutes late today, but
by the time we say goodbye, it'll be done.
que sera, sera. All right. Everybody have a good evening. Don't forget, we will see you tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please don't forget to like on YouTube, follow on Rumble, share, comment. Please join in on the chat. Also, join in on the Discord and follow Rex Sisters wherever you take us with you, wherever you go, if you're going to miss us. Go back and watch some of the pre-recordeds that we have, and we still got to talk when we're done, so for a couple minutes at least. All right,
Yep.
Crazy B, if you have time.
Yep, I got time.
All right. Oh, don't yawn.
Oh,
Oh,
so I'll do my stay safe, stay sane, stay sober,
yep.
and we will catch you on the next one
All right,
tomorrow.
everybody. Good night. Have a good one.
Good night.